G'day there guys, not ashamed to admit that I played Pokemon Go in 2021. It's your main man Markee and welcome back to another episode of r/AmiTheA. Now if you love today's bloody good content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the Barbie, and get ready for some bloody good content. Thank you. Posted by user TwinTwinStwin. Titled, Am I the a-hole for yelling at our sister? My wife and I are at odds over this. And though I believe I'm in the right, I'm open to others' opinion. Our kids are 2.5 and quite a handful. They have speech delay, don't really listen, and aren't potty trained. I tend to just give in to avoid their crying and tantrums. My wife believes discipline will help, but it just leads to more tears and no progress. Recently, we've started going back into work and hired a college student to watch the kids. She's very caring and obviously loves working with the kids, and my wife considers her a good friend that we can trust with the children, but I haven't seen any improvement. We've told her how we want our kids potty trained and talking soon, and while she definitely takes good care of the kids, there's no improvement. The other day, I came home to the twins crying, and the sitter told me that one of them had ripped her clothes off and gone to the bathroom on the floor during nap time. And I lost my temper and told her that wouldn't have happened if she had worked with the kids the way that she should have. I told her that I expected the kids to have been progressing more by now. She left soon after and must have texted my wife that night apologizing because my wife is pissed. She said it isn't a college student's problem to raise our kids. She's here to watch them and add on to what we build as parents. While I understand they are our kids, I don't think my wife is right. I think if you're in charge of the kids, you should be teaching them manners and speech and potty training them. Am I the a-hole? And OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. I yelled at our sitter, and my wife believes I shouldn't have. You're dense. You are dense and thick and stupid, my man. It is literally your job as the parents to teach them all of that. And it is literally the job of a babysitter to watch the children. It's not their job to teach the children everything. If they want to do that, fine, but you don't place that unnecessary expectation on them. That's just not right. They shouldn't be expected to do any more than what they signed up to do and what they agreed to do. It is your job as a parent, and it is obvious if you're pissed off about these things, you've failed yourself as a parent. I think it's disgraceful that you went and yelled at the babysitter over that, when it's literally not her job. I have nothing else to say besides the fact that you are dense, and you are the a-hole. In the comments, Love Giving Advice says, You're the a-hole, and this must be a joke. Potty training is your job, and they might not be ready. Speech delays? Get them professional help. If you seriously want to outsource those duties, you need to pay someone with loads of experience and not a college kid. You sound like a nightmare, and I sure hope college kid quits on you like yesterday. And who the hell yells at an employee? That is so unbelievably unprofessional. There is almost never a reason for an adult to yell at another adult. That's not a way to communicate with an employee or peer. Back when I babysat, if a parent yelled at me, I would have quit immediately. These days, if a boss yelled at me, I would go straight to HR. On top of that, who gets angry at an employee for not accomplishing things they themselves cannot accomplish? OP cannot get his kids to use the toilet. He hasn't improved their speech, he can't get them to listen to him. And yet, somehow when the babysitter can't either, it's a failing that deserves an angry and loud reprimand? And if he's so out of control that he's yelling at an employee and has crazy expectations, what's his demeanor with his kids? They're probably scared beyond belief. Probably leads to things like failure to potty train and slow development. Fantastic Focus 7056 says, You're the a-hole. It is your job as parents to potty train your kids and to teach them how to talk and manners. You are not doing your job and expect your babysitter to pick up the slack. I feel so bad for this babysitter. It sounds like she's trying, and OP is undermining any smidgen of progress she may make because he doesn't want to deal with tears and tantrums. He's literally sabotaging the person he thinks should be doing his job as a parent and getting mad at the babysitter for not meeting his expectations. I have so many words for this OP, and most of them would get me banned. I completely and on a regular basis sabotage my wife's efforts to discipline and teach our children by giving in whenever they have a tantrum. Also, I screamed at a college student because she didn't live up to my unreasonable expectations of being a super nanny, speech therapist, surrogate parent. Am I the a-hole? Yes, you are the a-hole. My dad used a very clever method of potty training. I don't know if it'll work with OP, but it's worth considering. My mum took my brother out for the day. My dad stayed home and played with me. Very often, he would ask me if I need to use the bathroom. We would go and check, and if I got anything in the toilet, even a single drop, he would praise me and then give me a big glass of orange soda, which is big for a small kid. Needless to say, I wanted the orange soda, so I learned quick that if I peed in the toilet, I got more orange soda. I got to be pretty reliable within a couple days. After that, the orange soda got phased out pretty quick. Posted by user Excluded Not, titled, Am I the a-hole for not including my sister in a family photo? So I, female 32, got married 4 years ago. My younger sister, 30 female, didn't attend because my wedding had a no children condition. At the time, my other siblings, 4 older brothers, 1 older sister, also had young kids, but all of them attended my wedding. My younger sister was the only one who chose not to. Her son was 14 months old at the time. She didn't want to leave him. I tried to accommodate by saying I could book a hotel room. I got married in a hotel ballroom, so that she could leave her son with her mother-in-law in the hotel room and check on him regularly. Her mother-in-law didn't mind, but my sister refused. I also offered to pay for a babysitter, but that was shot down as well. She didn't seem to want any option other than bringing her son to the wedding. She ended up not attending my wedding. My wedding went off without a hitch, and aside from her, everyone else from my family was there. I even had cousins, uncles, and aunts who traveled in from different countries to attend my wedding. After the wedding, I went no contact with her. She tried to pretend like she didn't skip the wedding and that our relationship would go back to normal. Obviously, it did not. The next 3 years, we did not have any communication. Last year, we reconciled after our dad begged us to. She apologized and said she was suffering from extreme anxiety and didn't want to be away from her son. We buried the hatchet and moved on. On to the issue. My husband and I are finally buying a house, so I went and printed several of my wedding pictures to put up in the house. I printed a picture of my parents and siblings with my husband and I on our wedding day, and I framed it. It is going on our living room wall. My younger sister isn't in the picture, as she didn't attend the wedding. She's upset because she was excluded in the picture. She wants me to Photoshop her into the picture, and I said no. If she wanted to be in the picture, she should have made the effort to attend my wedding. I've already printed the pictures and don't want to reprint. Adding her in by Photoshop may compromise the quality of the pictures. Those are the reasons why I said no. She claims that I'm punishing her by doing this. I do have other pictures of her plus our family that I'm intending to put up in the house, but my wedding pictures are my favorite and the main attraction. My family have mostly stayed out of the drama, but my older sister did say she thought I was being petty. Am I the a-hole? I think you are being petty in this situation for sure. I don't really think she's being all too petty. I think she's being kind of reasonable, although if you don't want to add her into the picture, I find that to be acceptable. The things I found okay in this story were, you had a child-free wedding. That's okay. She said she didn't want to attend unless she could take her child to the child-free wedding. I don't think that's okay, and I think it's okay that she didn't come. That was fine. The fact that she denied all other options that you tried to make available for her, and then complained that she didn't get to be in the picture, that makes her an a-hole. But the part where you're an a-hole is where you decided to go no contact with her because she agreed to not come to the wedding because of your terms and conditions. Unless something else happened in the meantime that caused you to go no contact with her, if that is just the sole reason, that makes you an a-hole also. You don't just go no contact with your sister because they didn't come to your wedding, because they couldn't meet the terms and conditions of your wedding. That's just stupid. So I'm going to go with everyone sucks here for this one. In the comments, Deserve says, after the wedding I went no contact with her. You went no contact with your sister because you chose to have a child-free wedding and she chose to stay with her 14-month-old instead. Yeah, you suck big time. Don't have child-free weddings if you're not prepared for people with children and reasons for not wanting to leave their children to not come. You printed a picture of the parents and siblings of my husband and I on our wedding day. My younger sister isn't in the picture, as she didn't attend the wedding. She's upset because she was excluded. She wants me to Photoshop her into the picture and I said no. This is, in a word, completely frickin' ridiculous. You both qualify for that adjective. Everyone sucks here. Both of you need to get over yourselves. Talk about life is too short. Edit. I'm rereading OP's post in the light of the day, and now fully digesting the fact that she and her husband are finally buying a house. Not finally bought a house, buying. Sounds like they haven't closed yet, and certainly sounds like they haven't moved in yet. They haven't hung a single photo on a single wall yet. This means that OP must have made it a point of order within her family that she printed out and will be hanging as the main attraction of her living room, her wedding photos. The ones that are infamously without her sister present. I'm asking OP, not rhetorically, I would really love to know why. Why? Not why hang the photos, F that, it's your house, hang whatever you want on the wall, so long as it's legal, 100% no contest, but why make what photos you are hanging and where a whole point of order within your family before it even presents itself as an issue? On that note, why ever make it a point of order at all? Why not just print out the pictures, hang them on your walls, and be done with it? What outward commentary is necessary about what you choose to hang on your walls? They're family portraits of your wedding. It's not some out there art that you absolutely needed people to opine on before deciding if you could live with it or not. Why stir the pot unless you're looking to create a brouhaha? It's still everyone sucks here. But OP, you were the bigger a-hole by a country mile, as revealed by your comments. Somewhere down there you said something to the effect of, I'm never changing my mind. Then why are you here? If you have no interest in seeing yourself through an objective lens, why bother posting in the first place? Your younger sister is less of an a-hole and more in need of major therapy to reassess her self-worth. The fact that you didn't speak to her for 3 years over this and only acquiesced to let her back into your life after your father begged and your sister contritely genuflected is beyond my capacity to understand. Still, the Photoshop request is truly ludicrous, and for that I need to keep it everyone sucks here. I wish I could go you're the a-hole because you are being such an a-hole. And someone else says, you're the a-hole. I was going to say everyone sucks here until I read your responses and decided that you are way worse than your sister. A wedding invitation is not a summons. People, especially people who are suffering from anxiety and other illnesses, are free to decline. You had the right to make any conditions on attending your wedding that you choose. Invitees are free to decline. You are clearly still stuck on your wedding as the event of the century and still making an issue of the fact that your sister didn't attend. Her wanting to be photoshopped into the picture is ridiculous, but I bet these pictures are another stick you use to beat her up for not attending your wedding. Get over it. And Awkward Badger 7516 says, everyone sucks here. You are absolutely allowed to have a child-free wedding, however, you really can't get offended if people with children then choose not to come. Going no contact over it makes you the a-hole. However, the reality is that she wasn't at your wedding, and expecting you to change your wedding photo also makes her the a-hole. Posted by user Am I the A-hole Throwaway 1937. Titled, Am I the a-hole for reminding my coworker that I don't answer to him? So my wife had a wreck 4 months ago and hasn't been quite cleared to drive by her doctor. Since then, I've taken up taking our daughter to daycare before I go to work. Daycare doesn't open until 7:15, and I was scheduled to be at work by 7. I talked with my boss about it, and he said that it's fine if I clock in at 7:30 instead of 7, so I have time to take my kid to daycare. This has been going on for about 3 months now, and there's one coworker who noticed that I come in 30 minutes later than everyone else. He decided to make mention of it, and I said, I had something come up and now my schedule is 7:30. To which he responded, well, the posted schedule says you're supposed to be here at 7, so I'm confused. It was early in the morning, and I'll admit I snapped a bit because it felt like he was asking too many questions for something that really didn't concern him. So I said plainly, that's an agreement between me and the boss, and last time I checked, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. He got butthurt and said I didn't have to say it like that, but he finally got my point. Am I the a-hole? I'm gonna go for no, because I don't see anything that you've really personally done to be an a-hole in this situation. If being frank with someone who's asking these questions when it's pretty obvious that the arrangement is already set, then whoever agrees with that, I would say, is kind of fragile. This is something stupid to make a fuss over. Everyone has their reasons, and the workplace was fine with it, so not the a-hole. Reddit Reader 20 says, not the a-hole. He overstepped and was asking something that wasn't his place. You were much nicer about it than I'd have been. Not the a-hole. Nosy people, straight answers. Not the a-hole. If he just accepted it wasn't an issue the first time you told him that it wasn't an issue, you wouldn't have needed to shut it down. And not the a-hole. But if he's a coworker who can't start certain tasks until you get there, you should let him know that you'll be coming in at 7:30. And honestly, your boss should just change your schedule to the correct times so that there isn't an issue going forward. All he does is clean from 7 to 7:30. He doesn't need me. Also, there are 3 other employees who come in at the same time. For a time I worked at a place I'd previously worked at, but the second time I did, I'd moved house roughly an hour away by public transport, so I told them straight up and they arranged for me to arrive late and finish later. Everyone knew and no one cared. Posted by user Jar. Titled, Am I the a-hole for getting my neighbor's car towed for blocking me in my garage, and now they want me to pay for their tow fee and tickets for calling to get them towed? So I recently bought a house that was vacant for a while, and people were using it as parking. I'm moved in now, and it's clear someone lives there, so people stopped parking there. Sometime last week I had to leave, but couldn't because I opened my garage door, and there was a car blocking it in. I don't know whose car it is, and I'm not going to waste my effing time walking around knocking on doors to figure out whose it is. Also, you could have parked in the grass or off to the side or something, I don't know. Now I found out it's someone's 3 doors down because they knocked on my door demanding I pay them back because I'm the one who called to get it towed. I told them they should have had their visitors park at their house, and they said no, because we've always parked here. Okay, well, not anymore, and I'm not paying for your crap. I kind of feel bad for how much they had to pay, but I shouldn't have to take time out of my day to go figure out whose car it is because they're being dicks. Also, why park in front of the garage? Literally anywhere else would have just been annoying, but I could have gone on with my day. I mean, sure, it was an expensive tow fee, and you could have gone and knocked on people's doors to see, whose car it was, but you don't have to, and you're not obligated to. They literally parked in the driveway in front of the garage. Who does that unless, they know the people in the house, or they're not brain dead? That's just something incredibly stupid to do, and I don't see people do it without getting towed. Sure, they're angry at you, OP, but it's not justified. You are justified in your anger at them for parking you in. Screw them, they have no legs to stand on in this one. Not the a-hole, OP. Nandaface says, not the a-hole. When I was in high school, I used to park in the driveway of an empty house across where my high school was. One day, I came out to find my car missing. It was towed. I guess someone bought the house and didn't appreciate someone parking in their driveway, and rightfully so. I sucked it up, saved my paychecks to pay my parents back for the tow fees, and apologized to the new house owners. The entitlement of some people is beyond me. Not the a-hole. I would be livid if I was blocked in, and you in no way should feel bad about the charges. They are in the wrong, period. You should get a sign that warns of towing if parking illegally. Not sure what country you're in, but Etsy has them available. I don't think anyone needs a sign in their driveway to say don't park here or you'll be towed. Those signs make sense when it's unclear it's an assigned space or something, but in general, you don't rock up to someone's house and park in their driveway unless you're visiting them. Not the a-hole. What kind of jerk blocks someone's garage? They earned their tow bill fair and square, and there's no reason you need to put up a sign. I agree. The risk was obvious. Park in front of someone's garage, get towed. It was even riskier for the jerk because they were 3 doors down. How was OP supposed to know whose car it was? Not the a-hole. And not the a-hole. I wonder how far "but I've always done this" excuse would get them if they parked illegally in a city lot or got pulled over for speeding. They parked on your property, blocked you in, they deserve to get towed. I can't believe the audacity of telling you to pay their tickets. G'day there guys, and that's the end of today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed it and were entertained by today's bloody good content. As always, I want to do a quick shout out and a thank you to all my channel members and Patreon subscribers. Your beautiful faces and names will be up on screen right now. Haven't forgot about you guys, sorry I was taking a little break there. So yeah, if you see yourself, give yourself a pat on the back. If you want to be on this screen, there's links down to the description below where you can sign up and help support the channel and all future projects that I'm going to be doing on this one. With all that said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to. I'll see you in the next episode, and I do hope you enjoy it. Thank you.